Hi, thanks for watching. Hayden Groves here with Laurie Curtin from DG. We thought we'd give you an update as to what's going on in your local market. So what is happening at DG, Laurie?
Well, this month at Dethridge Groves, our sales team has recorded the highest amount of sales in the month of June since 2008. And we've seen some exceptional properties go under offer in the first week of marketing. Number 97 Holland Street in Fremantle and number 189 Carrington Street in Beaconsfield.
Both nice properties?
Both nice properties, both had an exceptional amount of inquiry, good numbers through the home opens, but I think it's important to note that they both had a really good marketing strategy as well, and with the use of that and by a database, I think that helps sort of attracting many buyers to the property.
Is that a shift in the market? Because it has been pretty tough out there for a long time.
Yeah, it has been, and it's been interesting in our office that we have noticed that tough past 12 months, past 12 to 18 months. However, more recently we've noticed a lot of buyer activity. There's many buyers out there, and some seem to feel that we've hit the bottom of the market. They've got themselves ready, whether they've had to sell a property and they've gone and rented whilst they're waiting for the right property to come along, or maybe they're people that are trading up. And also a lot of interstate buyers. A lot of people from Sydney and Melbourne coming across to Perth where it's a little bit more affordable than their local market.
So that's of course because the Sydney and Melbourne markets have come off so much in recent times after they hit their peak probably 9 months ago or so.
Yeah.
So perhaps some more job opportunities in Western Australia as well.
Yeah.
So I've been saying for a long time that in Western Australia we have been at the bottom for some time. I've coined the phrase the long bottom, where we've had some 18 months of pretty subdued market conditions, but it stopped falling any further than the previous 45 months or so, where we'd seen consistent falls in the Perth property values. So it's really good that I think overall the Perth property market is poised for some growth at long last. But it's interesting to hear you say that at DG Real Estate we're finding that we're perhaps already well and truly underway with the resurgence and the recovery of the market, particularly at a local level. Yeah,
and I think this last week Fremantle was up there in the top 5 suburbs for sales in the past week.
Yeah, I did see that. It was equal first within the last 7 days, according to Rewa.com data, where there was 9 properties sold in 6160 postcode of Fremantle. So that does show us that there's a fair bit of underlying demand, particularly in the Fremantle market.
Yeah. So Hayden, tell me, what are other agents saying about the current market?
Well, it's patchy. You know, in certain areas where the market, people are trading up through the market, that sector of the market, which is mostly our market that we work here in Fremantle, is reasonably good. Stock levels are pretty constrained and demand is quite high. And so people are getting some pretty exceptional prices, particularly through our Dethridge Grove strategies. It's interesting though that if you're in that band, that trade-up band, which is just up from the entry-level band of Perth's median house price, which is just around 512,000. If you're in that 515,000 bracket up to say 650,000, that's really tough.
Yeah,
still
that's a bit tight.
Yeah, a lot of supply on the market, very little demand, and so that's what's. It's the first-home buyers are very active in the market. About a quarter of all new loans that are taken out are for first-home buyers at the moment, which is more than double what it is in the East Coast. So first-home buyers are active in that lower price point.
And they're a bit more cautious, aren't they, with their money as well?
Well, it's harder to get credit now through the Banking Royal Commission, as well as APRA's recent rule changes around how to get credit. It's really changed the dynamic of how you go about getting home loans, and so it is more difficult to get a home loan nowadays. And investor loans are almost impossible to get. Certainly if you're looking to get an interest-only loan, they're very difficult to come by right now. So federally there's a lot going on which is affecting our local property market here. Certainly given that we've seen the Melbourne and Sydney markets come off, as I was saying earlier, that will mean that the Reserve Bank will be disinclined to raise official interest rates, and so whilst international credit might be more expensive and therefore banking finance is going to be it will be more expensive at the local level, it's not really going to mean that there's going to be interest rates going up anytime soon. So Laurie, the Winter Wonderland is just about finished up because we're in the middle of the school holidays here, and Winter Wonderland's just going on right now, just up the road. Of course, it's NAIDOC Week, very important for our Indigenous culture here in Fremantle. What else is coming up?
Well, the Fremantle Foundation are holding their annual Fremantle Ball on the 3rd of August at the Esplanade Hotel, and anyone interested in getting a ticket can head over to their website, fremantlefoundation.org.au, I think that is, and book themselves a seat. I think you can book individual seats or a table, and it's a good night. Of course, we went last year, didn't we? We had lots of fun.
DG had 2 tables last year, if I remember.
Yep, we did.
It was a good fun time and a great initiative, and raises some great money for some fantastic community-based initiatives which help those that are less fortunate in our community.
Definitely. So, well, that pretty much wraps it up for this month.
Thanks for listening, and remember, at DG,
We know Freo.